Your 2030 desk knows you're about to burn out before you do, and it's already locked your apps to protect the company's human asset investment. You walk into your home office, and the atmosphere is pristine. It's minimalist. It's quiet. There is a single slab of obsidian smart glass floating on a motorized frame, completely devoid of the cable nests we've struggled with for decades. It looks like a Zen garden, right? But it's actually a predatory ecosystem designed to optimize every millisecond of your existence. For years, we've been told the smart home was here to serve us. But in the transition to the 2030 workspace, the role has reversed. We've moved from using tools to living inside of them. I look at this slab of glass and I don't see a computer. I see a corporate supervisor that never sleeps. This is the invisible workspace. It doesn't wait for you to log in. It's been tracking your respiratory rate and your cortisol levels since the moment you walked through the door. Look, when the glass dims and your notifications are suppressed, it's not because the desk cares about your mental health. Not at all. It's because the algorithm has calculated that a 15-minute forced meditation now prevents a massive drop in productivity later this afternoon. It's brilliant. It's clean. And it's quite literally terrifying because you didn't choose this. The tech evolved from a passive peripheral into an active participant in your cognitive labor. This is the evolution of the gadget, from a thing you own to a system that owns your attention. We are no longer the masters of our tools. We are the fuel for the environment. Whilst we were busy asking for faster processors and better screens, the industry was busy building a cage that looks like a sanctuary. This isn't just a desk. It's an investment in your biological uptime. And in 2030, you are the most expensive piece of hardware in the room. This transition from gadgetry to architecture, it didn't happen by accident. It's the result of a decades-long war against friction. You spent years obsessing over cable management, buying those sleeves and trays just to hide the mess. But the industry decided the solution wasn't better organization. It was total erasure. By 2030, the desk setup has evolved from a workstation into a piece of architectural silence. This is the era of the invisible computer. Look closely at the latest renders from Cupertino or Shenzhen, and you'll see something missing. It's not just the wires, it's the hardware itself. The towers, the laptops, those blinking LEDs, they've all been subsumed into the fabric of the furniture. I'm talking about the rise of solid-state cooling. It uses ultrasonic vibrations to move air instead of traditional noisy fans. It means your desk can finally be as thin as a piece of plywood whilst packing the processing power of a server farm. No hum, no heat, no sound. But the real magic, or perhaps the real trap, is the surface. We're looking at induction loops embedded into every square inch of the workspace. You don't plug in a mouse or a keyboard, because the desk is the battery. Your devices draw power through the very wood or composite they sit on, creating a seamless loop of energy that never breaks. It's the ultimate expression of the Apple aesthetic taken to its logical conclusion, a flow state where the tool completely disappears. When you slide on those lightweight spatial computing glasses, the physical monitors just evaporate. Your entire field of vision becomes the desktop. It is clean. It is quiet. It is quite literally the most beautiful workspace ever designed.
But as I analyze these technical executions, I can't help but feel that this minimalist dream is the perfect Trojan horse. By removing the friction of physical gadgets, the industry has removed the barriers to total immersion. You see, you no longer walk away from your computer because there is no computer to walk away from. You are simply inside the machine. And whilst the engineering is staggering, the question remains, what happens when the environment you work in is also the environment that monitors your every biological twitch, right? Because the death of the peripheral isn't just about aesthetics, it's about a new kind of data harvest that makes your current smartphone look like a toy. But look, Even this invisible architecture, it's nothing compared to how the industry plans to redesign your actual physical body just to keep up with the workflow. Look closer at that minimalist surface. Underneath the matte finish of this 2030 setup lies a sophisticated biometric enclosure. It's quite literally a neural link hub without the invasive surgery. You see, the desk isn't just a piece of furniture anymore. It's a massive sensory array. Using a grid of high-frequency infrared sensors hidden beneath the veneer, the system tracks your heart rate and respiratory rhythm without you ever touching a wearable. And the haptics? They've evolved. We're moving away from simple vibration motors to bone conduction transducers built into the armrests. They send subtle, almost imperceptible frequencies through your skeletal structure to nudge your focus back to the task at hand. Clever, right? Then there's the lighting. It's not just about aesthetics or eye strain. I mean, that's what they want you to believe. This is CRI optimized adaptive illumination. Whilst you work, the desk shifts its color temperature and flicker rate to force your brain into a high beta state. It's paired with targeted white noise frequencies that mask distractions, effectively locking you into a flow state for 8 hours straight. On paper, it sounds brilliant. The ultimate productivity hack. You're no longer just using a computer. You're becoming a functional component within the circuit. But here is where the dream of the seamless office turns into something a bit more daunting. Because this data isn't staying local. In the 2030 corporate ecosystem, your HR department doesn't need to ask how you're doing. They have a real-time dashboard of your physiological engagement. They can see your pupil dilation when you look at a spreadsheet. They know exactly when your focus wavers and your heart rate spikes during a difficult meeting. We're entering the era of the biometric performance review, where your promotion might be decided by your brainwave consistency rather than your actual output. But look, the surveillance of your biology is only half the story. There is one detail everyone missed about the actual cost of this optimization. The hidden tax here isn't paid in dollars or even crypto. It's paid in the surrender of your own autonomy. You and I, we're looking at a desk setup that promises the ultimate flow state, a place where the hardware anticipates your needs before you've even articulated them. It's brilliant. I mean, the performance boost is bloody massive. You'll get more done in 4 hours than your predecessor did in 10. But we have to pause and ask ourselves, at what point does a productivity tool stop being an asset and start becoming a biological cage?
Consider the feedback loop. You sit down, the ergonomic surface adjusts to your posture, the ambient lighting shifts to match your circadian rhythm, and the neural interface primes your focus. It feels like empowerment, right? But look, if the desk is optimizing your flow, it's also defining the boundaries of your work. It's nudging your cognition, deciding when you are most efficient, and quite literally filtering out the distractions it deems unproductive. You're being shepherded into a state of hyper-utility. The danger is that you stop treating your work as a creative endeavor and start treating it as a performance metric. If your environment is constantly measuring your cognitive load, you'll subconsciously adjust your behavior just to keep those metrics green. You become a subroutine in your own professional life. The line between your furniture and your nervous system is blurring, and you have to decide, are you the one using the desk, or is the desk using you to extract every last drop of output? It's a geeky dream, but a daunting reality. We're heading toward a future where the desk isn't just a place where you work, but a silent partner that manages your brain chemistry. You might see a pristine, minimalist workstation, but look closer. You'll see a high-tech velvet rope that keeps you tethered to the machine long after your shift should have ended. This is the ultimate evolution of the consumer experience. It's seamless, it's seductive, and frankly, it's undeniably invasive. So I have to ask, at what point does the convenience stop being worth the cost? Would you trade your fundamental cognitive privacy for the perfect flow state?
Let me know in the comments if you think this level of integration is the future of progress or the final nail in the coffin for professional freedom.